Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. My lighting's a little weird today, but it might just be with the sunshine and my light. I don't know. It seems like darker than usual. Might be my camera. Maybe things will straighten out. I don't know. But anyway, I tried to catch the same angle so you could see my eyes, but yeah. But I'll sit and visit. Oops. I moved you, sorry, with you for a while here. Gee, that maybe did better. But yeah, it's been a real couple of hectic days. I've been, for me, I got a letter from my youngest son. He's in jail, and he wanted me to write him back, and I'm really having a hard time. It's like, oh, I don't know. I told him I would, so, but maybe I won't this time. Maybe I'll wait till he gets out and write him. I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking a lot on tough love today. My lighting did just change. That's whatever. So, um, so there it goes again. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah. So I've been thinking about that in my life with a lot of people. It's like just enough. All these crazy antics out of everybody that they want me or you to seem like all this is natural and acceptable, and everybody's like crazy, and you're just supposed to just like keep working, keep doing your thing, just be quiet, don't say nothing. It's terrible. Um, I don't know if people realize that every year, like with the Social Security that seniors have paid in all their lives, is always put up on the chopping block before Congress every 5 years. Um, so the constant threat for people that's their wage that they paid in what they get. Um, that's a direct threat towards what they have saved and earned in their life through their working life. And that's not a very nice feeling for people, I'm sure, you know. But anyway, back to the tough love thing. That goes for government too. It's like, you're not the boss of me. Nobody's the boss of me. Um, Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world, you know. So I'm just so sick of everybody's antics, you know. I'm gonna tell you something about a so-called friend on Facebook, and I don't know. I don't think he means like extreme amount of harm, but I'm going to light a cigarette after I tell you this. This is how he started or ended what he had said, and then I'll tell you the gist of what he said. He said, "You have to admit this." Okay. Just a sec. He had a picture of indigenous people in the Americas, and correlated it to Adam and Eve, and then correlated it with the white man coming to the Americas and dressing the indigenous people, so to speak. And I like somebody had wrote, probably depending on the climate, like the Eskimos had clothes, and I try to um, enlighten people that God is a supercomputer, literally the spirit of our creator, that is a person, by the way, has the abilities of anything man can make, God can do better. That type of thing. People think, well, God didn't make people with clothes or any kind of abilities. No, it's the lizard freaks that hid all the gifts that God had given mankind. But anyway, I went to educate this friend of mine, on a few things about the European history, let alone the indigenous people. I'm like, even me at 64 with pretty good hair and not bad skin, and um, could be better, but in correlation to somebody else relatively my age, Um, well, anyway, getting back to the point, when the European colonists came here, the indigenous people had herbal shampoos and latrines, and they taught them people how to garden, and so they would live. And native children knew how to build their own homes by the time they were 12 and make their own clothing. They didn't have to round up their horses. Their horses were just close. They didn't have to manhandle them. They just called them to them, just all these differences, It's like, so while the natives had this like long, beautiful hair over in England, for instance, where people wearing wigs and their hair was so full of lice, and they didn't have any lavatories, so they'd throw their urine out on the streets on top of other people. That's why the woman would always be walk on the inside of the man would have her in, and they would have parasols. It wasn't just for show. So I mean, all these differences, even with the teepees, the one heat source in the middle that would go out through the top. And here are all these old shows that you see people over in Europe like freezing to death and starving and all this shit. It's like, give me a break. You know, like little kids are making um, eagles on their moccasins with beads and braiding their hair, and here's these old raggedy bag ladies that can't even freaking barely sew because they're so cold and they're doing it in the dark, and it's like whatever, so I had to educate the kid and say, you better do a little bit more, study a little more on my bloodline until in parts of me, you know. And then I told him, well, while my other parts were over there doing that, it's like across the seas. So it's like, no, don't start a conversation showing naked natives like we're not like that at all. You know, I don't care what you see indigenous tribes in Africa or South America or whatever is not. Um, Even like I say, if you believe that God put people on any kind of plane existence with human skin and no clothing, and didn't even have, God did not even have the ability to have a computer or any kind of entertainment for these people, or food, or a way to do things like cooking or anything, like God didn't even like a beer or a hit or nothing, nothing. Everything was so primitive, right? From you can make a body, you can make a spirit, but you cannot make a computer or cook a pastry. Nothing. Nothing's possible beyond making all that flesh and spirits and everything. It's like man far is succeeded God. Wow, look at all this shit. God could barely do that better, right? Yeah. So, yeah. My theme of today is tough love. I'm not turning my cheek anymore for anybody. I'm so sick to death of them. I mean, let's put it this way. When you'd rather poke your ears out with your fork when somebody won't stop talking, um, that's what the government is like to me too. It's like I would rather gouge my eyes out than see any more of this shit. You know, people in there, and there's always. I mean, okay, They want to take the time to try and divide us. Oh, and that's one other thing I wrote after I copied all this kids' information on white people and dark people and whatever, or red, and put on the bottom of it. But kudos on trying with your division, you know. So yeah, why even bring up shit like that? I mean, if you're gonna talk about whose land you're on or country you're in, I don't give a shit. You know, they're still trying to debate that. It's like, wait, let's time to get real. There weren't any major diseases in the United States of America either till these white pigs came on our property. Sorry, people that are white. I got white in me too. It just fries me out, though, that some person, just because they're entirely white, would write something like that about people that he knows evidently nothing about. You know, people in Europe couldn't even wipe their butts, and God knows what they did for hygiene with their menstruation or their babies' diapers or anything when Native Americans collected mullein leaves, you know, and used them like that. So it's like, and people think what, like over in Saudi Arabia, you wipe yourself with sand. I guarantee you the Americas were far more advanced than what is actually known. And people will find that out. Who the real people that have been put down in this world, the actual lost tribe of Israel, the only real lost tribe is the one right here in our own countries. So, and probably by now, everybody is all related unless you're brand new to the Americas. We all have relatives in just about every heritage, so the division bell there is only between the wheats and the tares, who is and who is not, because that's not something I'd be writing unless I was directly trying to annihilate somebody. Um, like I would pass something through about the natives. Everybody's on stolen land, period. When people are trying to push patriotism down my throat because I may not want to patronize people blowing up other people and that type of thing, you know. So, and then I end up being the bad one. It's like, no, I'm not gonna do this. If people think it's okay that we've, as the United States of America, paid for armed nuclear missiles that are blowing up people right now today, you think that's cool? You think the government has anything good intent towards any human beings on this planet? It's not the people in the um, offices and leaders of the other countries that are getting blown up. It's our brothers and sisters over in those other countries that are getting hurt. None of the people that are telling the people to war are being harmed. Not one of them. Wish I could help them out like that. I'll just think about it. Because, yes, now I do wish them harm. Enough to stop them what they're doing. I tried praying God into their hearts and that didn't work, so I'll just leave it on that. And I'll go back to tough love right now. Y'all can go beat yourself if you hold any kind of public office. You suck. You suck harder than anything I've ever seen in my life. I don't care if you think you're royal or black nobility or enlightened or Illuminati or who the hell you think you are, but nobody's the boss of anybody else except for God Himself. There's not a man or woman on this planet, a human being. There is not a human being that is Lord or God over another human being in any way. When they want to take us back to some kind of king ruling over the whole situation. No, it's not going to go down like that. And that's my statement for the day. Actually, I didn't want to stick a fork in my ears. I wanted to stick a fork in the person that wouldn't be quiet. And I told him so. So it's like, I want to eat my meal in peace. But anyway. And this is late. It's like I was getting really hungry and really tired. So then I'll say or do something that I don't regret it. If I get to there now, I'm old enough. I'll throw my temper tantrum without regret. you know? But I mean, I wasn't yelling or anything. I just made a statement. So, yeah. So that's what's going on in my world today. I am going to share a video of exposed lies from live footage, moon footage that Bruce Lee's All channel, astronomy, Montreal can or Quebec either. Um, you can see buildings, you can see construction, colors like trees or water, whether it's like sapphire or jade or whatever. There's movement, there's lights, there's space vehicles or live entities of movement and fire. There couldn't be any kind of fire or smoke or anything if there wasn't oxygen. All the lies that we've been told, all the things that have been kept from us, you know, is um, extraordinary, extra ordinary, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna share his latest video, and it's just more fuel for the fire of what's been kept from us. And the bottom line is the Antichrist over God's people forever without us being able to do anything about it. And that's not going to go like that. And it's like people like us, we're the ones that are going to make sure it will not go the way they are planned. I'm calling for every government all over the world just to be abolished. And I have money in there. I'm serious. But I would rather go without everything from them that I put in there than to watch the future generations have to go through the same kind of tyranny, because that is all it is. They're penalizing the poor people and the working people right now, trying to tax them so hard, making them feel guilty because they can't even afford to pay a tax. You know? And then the ones that do pay in think they have like let me think of the word, like they're more virtuous or more worthy to be a part of a country that they patronize and praise their government beyond the smaller guy that may even work harder to even, like, if they go out for a meal and they can afford to go out for a meal versus the person that's cooking the meal for them, that type of thing. So it's a class war. It's not anything to do with anybody's skin color or demographic or religion or anything. It's a war between the classes, the very, very rich and the poor. And there is nothing in between for these. And that's exactly how they want it to be, even more than it is right now. And that's the bottom line. You know? I don't care what anybody thinks my reasons for speaking out on this so strongly are. I don't care about your opinion. I'm not doing this for me, or if you're of that mindset, definitely not for you. I'm doing it for the people that will feel like minded and stand up and say, "You're not my boss. You're not the boss of me. Nobody is. God is my boss. So shut her down, Sparky." You know? If you have something wonderful to contribute for other people, gifts and talents that you can share, that you're actually trying and doing something that I can visibly see, or hear, or even even a good thought, hey, I'm all behind you, big time. So those, I mean, it isn't like, can you prove you're actually doing something to help the world? That's not quite what I mean, like that, you know. So, oh, I was thinking about something. Why is it that King James rewrote the part in the scripture, and even the Hebrew states with the braids? And Hebrew women did not braid their hair. Um, Gee, I wonder who is really known for their braids besides the Cornish, but they actually adopted that Cornish hairstyle. Um, Ancient times. But why would it say in the scriptures for a woman not to braid her hair? I could see with the makeup and other things, and the jewels, and so you're not making people lust or whatever. But when you're working hard, what are you supposed to do? Just chop off your hair because it's there? And the Bible says don't braid your hair. But what are you supposed to do when you're cooking and cleaning after your little ones? And it's not natural for her to have hair? That's ridiculous. It's just certain things don't make sense. You know, actually, hair is prettier unbraided. So I would say that the people that were like womenizers, misogynists, the people that don't care about women would want other people to view other people like that with low regard. I could see that. You know, that would probably play a little bit in the thoughts and mindset of people that are reading those scriptures that are twisted. You know, and pretty sure if I found the Assyrian, one of the languages for braid, I do believe it means. Give me a second here, and I'll probably look this up too. But to style, or to like to style, to entice. You know, I think it's closer to that, and logically, that makes more sense. But a lot of people don't read the scriptures with logic. They just hear something, even if it's far out, and they just believe it like that, and that's, stuck in their head. So it's hard to unstick something once you don't look at everything from every angle, you know, every single angle. There, even when you think there's only three choices, there's probably 3,000 choices or more on the same situation, you know. Oh, pardon me, I have somebody at my door. Just a moment. Okay, pardon me. A friend of Doug's, so but Doug's not here, so excuse me. Um, yeah. Anyway, I have to recover a moment. Oh my goodness. Somebody inviting Doug to a retirement party. It's like, yeah, please go and don't come back. No, actually, I don't know. I don't care. You know, I'd rather have him party somewhere else than in front of me. You know, so but yeah, this guy's wife is really strict Catholic, and so I don't know that it would be super crazy, but they're really, really not complete as much as I would like. So I won't be going, is what I'm saying. These same people, I practically begged for him to tell his wife I wanted to go to Christmas service with them to church one year. That was right after my stroke, and I was just hoping. But nobody, even the hint a couple times didn't sink in, and it's like, "Mm, okay, whatever then." Oh, I heard like Brucey's all talking about how there seemed to be like a dark spirit around churches and stuff, and he didn't like going in them, and other people feel that way. I feel that way in every single church, even the one I grew up in around. It always had a foreboding feeling to it. But it wasn't as bad as going home, so it felt better to me to be there than it did in my home. But I can relate to that. That is a real thing, you know. So, yeah. I used to visit with this person that just knocked on the door, but I don't know. I at one time told him Doug wasn't home and indicated that he shouldn't keep walking up the driveway, yet he still did and proceeded to really bother me. So it's like, no, thank you. You know, people are creepy, you know. I just want really good friends that can understand me without me having to jump through hoops to make my heart known. If they can't just see that, then they're not worthy of me. And those are the only people I want in my life, you know. So, yeah, I will be writing my kid a letter. I hope I have the ambition to even do it tonight and get it in the mail, but um, it's not probably going to be what he wants to hear because I don't ever want to see him again. I don't want anything to do with anybody when they can watch and see and experience and help people abuse me. It's like I don't want any of you in my life. Just stay away from me then. And that's what that message will be. You know, it's like you're growing up now. Bye bye. I didn't have anybody, and I still have people wanting to suck the life force out of me. Like, no, thank you. I can live without that. I'm better off alone, you know. Just like I was talking about yesterday, and I even saw somebody, Andrea knows, um, her last name starts with a P, and I can't remember it right offhand. If you see me, Andrea, hi, it was really nice knowing you're alive, you know. But she even noticed on the same live stream that there was dark energy up in that thing, and it's like, yeah. And a couple other people commented on it, and so it's like, and I don't know. I don't know if I'll do that again or not. Not sure. I mean, I like a lot of people over there, but yeah, I mean, if it's not fun, you know, that's why I do like Brucey's community and his live streams, and the people are the most like me that I found out here on the internet, So I think I see it as a um, more of a family type, caring type, human type instead of the unhuman types. So yeah, whatever. I think I'm gonna have to like journey in other directions in my life, So, yeah. So I thought I'd say hello and just kind of talk to you what's going on today. Um, just not listening to other people's opinions because yes, I am right, and I'm gonna stand my ground. Nobody's boss of me. Nobody's boss of you. And somehow, some way, this system that has been built up for the beast, by the beast, has to be ignored. Somehow, I mean, they're going to destroy it themselves, but getting everybody to comply, that's another thing. When that point and that day comes, it's decision making time. Well, I decided a long time ago, and that's why I don't have such a happy life like that. Inside, I'm happy. I just don't have happiness to share with other people, except for the people I found out on the internet. Just nobody I know personally, you know. No smiles, no real conversations. If you talk about philosophy, it turns into some weird, like taking my brain to places that I'm not even going. It's like, some people can talk philosophy and it can just flow. It's like watching the stars at night or sitting at a bonfire and it's pleasant. Other people are sitting around the bonfire waiting to get up and do a war death dance or whatever. That's the kind of difference of personalities. So, anyway. Well, I thank you for joining me. I'll cut this off here and wish you a very nice night or day wherever you're at. God bless you. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.